Dylan Black. You know, weighted blankets are definitely in right now. Let's find out about their benefits and so much more. We say hello to Tammie Turner with HugBlanket. Hello, Tammie.
Hi.
Now, you created HugBlanket?
I did. Actually, my tech-savvy brother came up with the name HugBlanket, but they're basically weighted blankets.
Okay, so what is a weighted blanket exactly? Because people keep talking about this right now.
Well, weighted blanket is basically a blanket that's been weighted using some pellets sewn in to the blanket evenly, so it creates a therapeutic comfort. And what it does is it activates your deep pressure receptors that you have in your body and sends very relaxing and calm signals to your body and your mind, similar to being hugged.
Yeah, so that's why you hug blanket.
Yeah.
Now, what is your story? Why did you decide to get into this?
Well, I needed one. I have PTSD, but when I was looking into them, they were very expensive. So I decided to make my own, and with the extra material, I put another blanket on Kijiji, and the interest was just so great that I ended up ordering more supplies because I really wanted to help people benefit from the effects of these blankets. Okay,
so tell me how it has affected you, because you said you had PTSD, so not only therapeutic to create them, but the actual use has made you feel better.
Oh yeah, the comfort that it provides is really hard to explain. Some people who benefit from these are like it was originally meant for those with autism or anxiety, but people with PTSD and sensory disorders and even kids trouble focusing and sleeping use them, and it basically just eliminates a lot of busyness that our senses pick up around us. I mean, some people even just like that cocoon effect when it drapes your whole body with an even weight and just blocks out any drafts.
Yeah, and it also eliminates you from being busy because it weighs you down. You don't feel like moving.
Right.
Okay. Can I actually hold one here?
Yeah, sure.
And I will let people know the weight feel. I'll maybe even guess. So this, I'm not a very good judge of weight, but I would say this is probably a good 10 pounds?
12.
12 pounds. Wow.
12 pounds.
And you can feel that. That's obviously much different than any normal blanket out there. How do you know what weights are appropriate for who?
Well, I did some research when I started making these, and I learned that it's best to go 10% of your ideal body weight, and it's important to do ideal and not actual, because if you're, let's say, 170 pounds, but your ideal weight for your height is closer to 140, then you'd want to go to a 14-pound blanket opposed to a 17. They'll be more effective that way.
Okay.
And age does come into play, though, because young children, they shouldn't really sleep with a heavy blanket that's too heavy because it can interfere with breathing. But really, a lot of it can be personal preference, too, which is why I like to loan them out so people can try them before finalizing an order.
Great. Yeah. I guess it would be the same for seniors. If seniors are a little frail, more frail, they should probably not use as heavy a blanket.
The lighter, go lighter.
The lighter the better.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain then. So these are the pellets that you'd put inside?
Yes.
Now, what are these made out of?
These are virgin poly pellets, and I get them from a great local distributor, Poly Pellets Ontario. And they're nice and smooth and even and small, and they're only noisy if I use a stiff cotton for the core. But I use 100% cotton, and because they are heat resistant, but the blankets are a little heavy for the washing machine. So it's best if you surface wash and use a cover, which you can just take off and wash as much as you want.
Okay, now I understand as well that people can even come in if they have, say, a keepsake or a blanket or a kind of cover that they like already, and you will customize it to fit over their new hug blanket.
Yes. I've made covers out of a child's favorite blanket or comforters, or I've even made a T-shirt cover for someone. But I do like to personalize them.
That is super
It's more
cool.
fun at my end.
That is super cool. So how does it work? You said that you lend them out to people?
Yeah, I do lend them out because a lot of times people think that they would like something heavy, but it turns out that the most popular is probably about 10 to 12 pounds, but I get a lot of requests for 15 pounds, and then they try it and they realize, well, maybe it wakes them up a little bit too much instead of actually keeping them asleep.
How big are the blankets? You mentioned the weight, but how much would they cover?
I make them 3.5 by about 6 feet, and I do that on purpose to make sure that the pellets are focused on the body. And I also make the covers the same size because that's important to keep them in place.
Does it take a long time to make a weighted blanket like this?
Well, it takes me about 3 or 4 hours to make a blanket, but I like to tell people 3 or 4 days in case there's some shopping that I get to do to personalize a cover that they want. So.
You always need to underschedule your days. I get that because stuff comes up. You don't want to promise right away, but satisfaction is guaranteed with you.
Oh, yes. If it doesn't work out, don't like it, change your mind, or it's just not something that is working for you, for sure I would give the money back. And
Sorry, how long have you been doing this for now?
It's been 1.5 years.
And how many blankets?
Hundreds.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tammie Turner, more details, HugBlanket.ca.
Yes.
And order yours today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great stuff. Keeping us healthy and happy. Hug Blankets. More tea time coming up.